Welcome back, Truth Seeker. September 19th, 2019, Thursday night football for week 3 is concluded. The Jaguars won by a score of 20-7. 27 combined points, a difference of 13. And for anyone who watched the game, they saw how bizarre the play calls were to keep the score at 27 combined points. Something we talked about before the game on Patreon was Andrew Jackson, who was the master of Freemasonry in Tennessee. That's where he became a Freemason as well, Tennessee, and who has the town Jacksonville named after him. And what was interesting about Andrew Jackson in light of tonight's game between Tennessee and Jacksonville, which Jacksonville won 20-7, is that September 19th, the day the game was played on, is the day that leaves 103 days left in the year. And from the anniversary of his death, which is June 8th, to the game played today, September 19th, is 103 days later. And 103 is the 27th prime number. You get 27 points due to very bizarre play calling, not kicking field goals where, 999 times out of 1,000, the coach would kick the field goal. And it's funny I said 999 because that's how many days it's been since the Jaguars beat the Titans at home. Truly, look it up. So, 20-7, 27. This is what the ritual is about. And remember, 103. By the way, the word ritual equals 27 in Gematria. I think 27 club. Anyway, remember, the first Thursday night football game of the week, or the season. First Thursday night football game, week 1. The Packers beat the Bears 10-3. 10-3, a span of 103 days from the death of Bart Starr. 103. And with regards to Scottish equaling 103, as in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, some other things in the world of sports today. The team from Washington, D.C., named after the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington. Washington, D.C. team scored 103 points. Game 2 of the playoffs versus the Las Vegas Aces. On the day leaving 103 days, 103 points. And with regards to the Scottish Rite, again, Scottish Rite is 103. Scottish, Rite of Freemasonry. Tonight's game was on Gardner Minshew's 127th day of his age. Tonight's game was on Marcus Mariota's 325th day of his age, 325. You see the 143 over here? Look what happens when I write week 3. Week 3, 143. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Scottish Rite is also 57, and I believe it was Doug Marrone, his 57th night of his age. The coach of Jacksonville. And you see the 165 and the 159? Donald Trump, he's born on the 165th day of the year, June 14th, the flag's birthday. And notice the 159. Donald Trump, 159. Scottish Rite. Freemasonry. That's what American football is credited to. The Scottish Rite Freemason Walter Camp. And Freemasonry uses this code of letters and numbers. Freemasonry, very much based in Kabbalah, and that's where this study comes from, of letters and numbers. And no doubt this is what the English language is built upon. Kabbalah and Gematria are thousands of years older than English. So, another 103 ritual. I didn't notice a 103 ritual in last week's game unless I missed it, but week 1 and week 3, no doubt about it. Week 1, week 3. And there's something about that. TNF. And the most pure ciphers, 13. 13 TNF. The Jaguars won by 13 points tonight. The last 2 games on Thursday night football between the Jaguars and Titans that were played in Jacksonville, the Titans lost both games with 13 points. Tonight's game was exactly 41 weeks after their last Thursday night football meeting. Derrick Henry had a big game that night. Marcus Mariota had 40 pass attempts tonight. Last week, the first points on the board were a 40-yard field goal. The week before that, Aaron Rodgers got his 40th away winning the regular season, staying on 41 losses away against the Bears. So anyway, it's all ritual. It's all scripting. It's why you get these bizarre calls that don't make any sense. It is no different than the WWE. And by the way, Vince McMahon's a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. And you just saw Andrew Luck retire on his 74th birthday. Masonic equals 74. Andrew Luck retired on Vince McMahon's 74th birthday. He now owns the XFL. Oliver Luck, the father of Andrew Luck, who used to play for the Houston Oilers. He's the CEO of the XFL. Whole lot more. But, yeah, it's just undeniable what these people do. And by the way, to bring it back to Scottish Rite, Andrew Jackson, also 78. Scottish Rite, also 78. And I forgot to finish making the point about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, 138. Andrew Jackson, 138. With regards to the WNBA game tonight, think about how Trump is, the man in the office in D.C. and how he has his hotel in Las Vegas. I just wonder if there's some sort of little tribute there. The Trump card, the aces, Kabbalah, tarot cards. In the Cardinals game, they threw out this stat today. A 113 for Jack Flaherty. That's another Scottish number. This is also from the day leaving 103 days left in the year. And in baseball, a real gimme today was the Kansas City Royals, by losing to the Twins, became 10-3. Or the Twins became 10-3 against the Kansas City Royals this year by defeating them. And notice how Kansas City Royals is 103. So, tell you how I did today in sports. And we'll start off with the bad. In the NFL, my callers were all filling the Jaguars today. So my callers had the right call. I told them Thursday night football has been my Achilles heel for the past season. And I thought that they were going to get the over tonight. So I was wrong in football. I did see the 103-27 narrative as a narrative, but I was digging the 40-date numerology and the way 40 hits on Thursday night football and the fact that the majority of the public money was on the under. So tonight the public actually won on the under. Doesn't happen very often. But, so I was wrong about that. I skipped picking who was going to win. The callers were filling Jacksonville. I told them to go with the instincts. So the students had the right call on this one. And again, that's the beauty of joining the Patreon community. You get to learn all this information before the game. You get to watch it unfold. We did well with the fantasy players tonight. We called the star guys of the game. They had some great alignments tonight, but I was wrong about the over-under. Now, in baseball, another good day in baseball. However, there was one game I really wanted to see go a certain way that didn't. I was wrong about this Braves-Phillies game. I was also wrong about this Pirates-Mariners game. First two games of the day. But on the right side of the Red Sox game, we saw Rodriguez was going for his 50th career win. San Francisco equals 50. He got that. And remember, San Francisco hosted Super Bowl 50. They began playing in Super Bowls with a record of 5-0, like 50. It's a number that shows up all the time with San Francisco in sports. So Rodriguez on the mound got his 50th career win today. Perfect opponent. San Francisco dishes out the 50. The Brewers and the Padres looked good. Brewers to take the game. It was through the head-to-head record. They're now 73-79 against each other all time. As I often teach people, these series will end on numbers that are symbolic to the teams. Milwaukee Brewers equals 73, San Diego Padres 79. So they're 73-79 against each other all time. And for the season, now one team leads 4-3 over the other. San Diego's 43. So Brewers look good for that. The Yankees to clinch today made a lot of sense. Clinch equals 31. You had 31 date numerology. Angels equals 31. A few other things that look good for the Yankees. Yankees clinched today, beating the Angels. Dodgers clinched on a 31 date as well. The Blue Jays look good to beat the Orioles. You see how the Orioles stayed on 49 wins today? Blue Jays equals 49, and the Orioles picked up their 49th loss in the AL East versus the Blue Jays. Blue Jays 49, so Blue Jays look like the team today. Indians were big favorites over the Tigers, but had a great riddle to win as well through Clevenger. Clevenger got the win. You see how he's 12-3. So often when a pitcher picks up a win and loss for the season, it matches with the next team they face. He'll face the White Sox, which equals 123, and he goes in 12-3. There's a few other things Clevenger had, but this is what we do every day. We go through the games, and it's a lot of analysis. You guys are getting, the recap of, hours of decoding each morning to find all the best synchronicities. It's a lot of work to do this, but this is the quick recap. The Cardinals beat the Cubs tonight. It was the first time the Cardinals won in Chicago. They were 0-6, so tonight the Cubs became 6-1 versus the St. Louis Cardinals, right? And St. Louis Cardinals equals 61. Plus, there was a few other things there that looked good for the Cardinals. They win. And then the Twins, like I said, they were becoming 10-3 against the Kansas City Royals with a win today on the day leaving 103 days left in the year. No doubt about it, right? Kansas City Royals. So, in baseball today, we leaned right on 7 games, wrong on 2. And what went wrong in those 2? The Mariners and Pirates game I explained was close. It was a hard call, but I went with the Pirates. Here's why. Had the Pirates won today, they would have been 10-7 versus Seattle all time, right? But had the Mariners won, I didn't even need to change it. Had the Mariners won, what was it? There was going to be a 2-8 for the record for one of the teams, or 8-2. So you had to choose between these two narratives, and it ended up being the 8-2 one. And perhaps, anyhow, sometimes that's what happens. You get caught between two tight narratives. In the Phillies game, there's 2 very predictable things that happen with Philadelphia sports all the time, but not every time. And today was one of those days it didn't come through. The Braves could have got their 61st loss, and their pitcher could have become 6-5 at home. Those are both numbers that show up with Philadelphia a lot, 65 and 61. In the NFL, when Tom Brady lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, his career record was 223 and 65. Picked up his 65th loss against Philadelphia. Philadelphia established on the day leaving 65 days left in the year, which is October 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, October 27th leaves 65 days left in the year. And Philadelphia establishment date. Hey, what is that? October 27th, 1682. The day leaving 65 days left in the year. And, Philadelphia, their big star acquisition this summer was Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's 65 and 61. So anyway, thought the Phillies would give him those predictable numbers, but wasn't so. And what's interesting about Philadelphia, the Phillies, is in the last month or so, they've missed on a lot of those riddles, actually, even though they normally hit for them. So there's something up with that. That's why there's still more to understand. There's a reason that Philadelphia's typical number isn't hitting down this playoff stretch. There's something symbolic about that. But that's how it is. You use this knowledge, you're going to get on the right side of most games. You're going to see riddles that sometimes you choose not to play, and then you're going to kick yourself. Like me. I saw the double 103 thing with the football game in the 27th prime. We talked about it. But I was filling that 40. So, anyway. Not a bad day, but could have been better. And if you sign up for Patreon, you get this type of presentation, 2+ hours, nearly 7 days a week. Some weeks we just go 6 days. But, and some days the live streams are like 8 hours a day. That's what also gets crazy. But anyway, you get a lot of content trying to build this movement, help people see through how these games are rigged, wake the masses up to it. I mean, think of the people, just so depressed right now because their team just performed so horribly. Their coach just made such dumb decisions. Why didn't we kick those field goals? Not realizing it's all a script. It's all meant to make you pull your hair out. Till next time, True Seeker.